Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the FauxShow. Today is Friday, October 11th. My name is Angela.
And my name is Nathan.
And as most of you know, the FauxShow is not a real show. It is a social experience because I don't look at you. I look at the chat which I have here on my iPad. Oh, yeah. I was waiting for you. It's, there. It's full screen on this screen. It's over there on a monitor where I can see myself, and it is also in the best lower third on the internet. And today we are going to be talking about iGoogle alternatives. And because as anybody knows, it's actually going to go away. And I have a screenshot of what I get every day. Ta-da! iGoogle will be shutting down in 21 days. That was today that I got that. So I'm a little bummed because, as you can see, I use it. Do you use a homepage, Nathan?
I have one that I made myself. I haven't used iGoogle that much, but I do have, I've used similar sites before.
Mm-hmm.
I have one that I made myself because I have my own pictures and stuff in the background. But, I can see how it would be for someone who does use it a lot, would be a big problem because, you set it up and it does all these things you want it to do, gives you email, gives you everything. And then,
right.
A bit like with Google Reader, and they just dropped that and people just lost loads of stuff. So,
right. So for some of you that don't know, well, maybe you don't even know about iGoogle. It's also called Google Home, or you can access it at google.com/IG. But basically, it's a homepage where you can have widgets and gadgets and whatever of different things that you're interested in. I know that as a techie, you'd probably put a lot of RSS feeds to news sites and whatever. But basically, on let's see, actually, I don't know when they announced that they were going to shut it down. It was like 16 months ago. But basically, they launched it in 2005, but everything changed, and they needed to keep up with that change, and decided 16 months ago to shut it down on November 1st, 2013. And that is in 21 days. So you can export your settings and stuff, which is kind of cool. I didn't know that, and I don't really use it in depth that much to need to export anything. But we're going to go through a couple of the alternative sites that where we can set up some of the things that I like. But basically, everything is exportable. And one of the cool things that I found was that they have a to-do list. And that would have been really handy, where you can just enter in, laundry there and say what priority it is. And I totally would have used that. So I'm going to look for something like that in a new homepage. But let's see. So I want to find out what you like about your homepage, Nathan.
Well, the one that I made, if you bring it up,
yep.
If you can.
I am. There we go.
The one that I made, I've got, those are some of the main sites that I visit most often. I spend a lot of time on Reddit and various other sites.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a link to the live stream in there as well. And the good thing is that pops up with every new tab that I open as well. So it's not a homepage.
Nice.
It's just a new tab page.
Right.
And I can do it I've got it set up so if I do a search from there, it searches with DuckDuckGo, and if I do a search from the normal search bar, it searches Google. So for the privacy, all the privacy stuff that's going on, so that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that doesn't give you any. It doesn't give you any of the news feeds and things like that.
Right.
Which I suppose someone who's way more skilled than I am at HTML could probably set up RSS readers and so on in the page.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I don't generally I get my news from other sites because we don't have we do have TV here, but TV broke a few years ago, so we don't have it anymore. No, we cut the cord and all that.
Right.
So I've got a lot of my news and things like that I get from various websites like Reddit. I've got my Reddit set up to give me all the stuff that I want. So that's, I guess, I never really used iGoogle a lot, but I had similar sorts of things set up with the other sites that I visit to show me, like my Reddit page, for example, is removed all the default things and I added all the stuff that I want so that it shows me a similar sort of thing, and then I've got, I think, like what they were saying in the like why it's going away page as well. A lot of the stuff's going mobile now, so my phone and my tablet, they tell me when I have things to do, and they tell me when stuff's coming up on my calendar and emails and all that sort of thing. So it's sort of, the iGoogle only works on your computer, so I think that's probably why they got rid of it.
That makes sense.
That's why I set up my homepage the way I did, because it's just links to the sites that I visit most often, so I don't have to click in the bookmark or whatever or type it in. And then my tablet, beeps at me whenever something goes wrong, so whenever something's happening. So
okay, well, so Daredevil in the chat room said export everything to get no import in other places, and that's actually not true. Apparently, my Yahoo, I think is what they're calling it as an alternative, you can import your settings. So, but don't quote me on that because I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that was the case. So if we look at my Google homepage, it's very simple. I'm a basic user, not an advanced user, but I love seeing my horoscope first thing. And some of the alternatives, I can't figure out how to get my horoscope visible there. Like just like I don't know if it's RSS feeds aren't able to do it or not, or what this is. I don't know, but basically an RSS feed to the horoscope sites isn't working like this. And then I have weather for all the different cities around me. I have my email preview, which I don't really care for, but one thing that I really do want is up here, the Google bar, where you have my G+, my images, all those things, because I absolutely, unconditionally dislike this new system they have here. Right? The icons.
Yeah.
I keep looking up here for the bar, and it's just so annoying, and I haven't learned these icons yet, so it's not like, oh, that's the Google Drive, which is a stupid name, icon. It's been a pain in the butt. And then Dig Top Stories, I don't really care for. I don't know why I have it. I don't even know why I have it on there, but stock market's interesting to look at. These eyes are down here where I can't see them because I don't like things moving. Like, it catches my eye. I have 2 monitors, so it catches my eye, and I don't really like that. So, sounds like Angela has a horoscope. Oh, a horoscope. Horoscope. Anyway.
I actually have those eyes on my desktop. It's a old Linux program from like 30 years ago or something, 20 years ago. Old X program. And it's 2 little eyes, exactly the same.
Yeah, so
with them sitting in the corner.
Chris Lass has pointed out that it sounds like I don't like 40% of what's on that page. And that's a good point. I set up my iGoogle homepage probably back in 2005, I don't know. And I haven't really touched it much since, other than expanding the weather for other cities that I'm interested in. But what I found by looking at the alternatives is that there are other things that I'd like to see on there. And they've presented it really well. And it's time for change. We're not always looking, oh, how can I change up my homepage? Because I like the way it is right now. But there is this website here of 6th grade alternatives to iGoogle, put out by techsupportalert.com. And it has, let's see, and it has Netvibes, which we will go to. So Netvibes is obviously cross, let's see, I don't know about cross-platform, but cross-device. It's desktop or mobile. I guess Google just didn't want to do mobile, right? They could have just done mobile. Yeah,
the thing is that Google Now, which is their big service that they're pushing, because it ties in with the way that they make their money is with advertising and so on. And so they want you to they want to integrate and be sort of like your own personal assistant, and then be able to, as your personal assistant, be able to recommend, buy this thing or that thing for the advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And Google now does a lot of what iGoogle does as well. Like, you don't have to tell it; it just pops up and tells you, the weather here. Or like recently, my mother was visiting me for a holiday, and she came over from Australia to visit me, and without being prompted, because she didn't even know how to use her phone, I had to show her how to use an Android phone, and it popped up with things like, it didn't say, we can see you're on holiday, but obviously it recognised that she was away and she was on holiday, and it came up with, these are the local sites and attractions in the area, and this is the exchange rate between where you are and
Oh, yeah. That makes
home,
sense.
and the time at home and the weather and all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Google wants people to move away from iGoogle because there's no good way for them to sell advertising on it as well, which might be part of the reason why they're killing it. And which is why if you want something like that, you probably would need to do a third party like this Netvibes, or some of the other ones.
Right.
Right.
So I just went to Netvibes, and I can't get back to where it was. Yes, I can. Look at that. Ha. Okay. So I clicked on. Where did I click? Dang it. Overview. I'm just me. And what did I click on? Well, anyway, I clicked on social networks, and this is what it shows up as. And it's like essentially just preloaded social sites. And it appears that depending on the category that I choose, it would put a different tab for different things. And that's actually kind of an interesting concept to have a social network tab. Okay, what's going on here? There was also technology and a couple other things. So that is interesting. But I think I'm actually I don't know. I don't know about this one. I don't think I would like different tabs. I just want one page. So, but I do like the drag and drop ability. That's really important to me. I really like that about the iGoogle. Is there anything about this particular Netvibes that you think is
I'm just
good?
looking at it now, and one thing that I am actually liking more than, because I have an iGoogle page from ages ago that I've been using, and for example, I follow a lot of motorsports quite closely, and so it's good. It's good to be able to have all these things come up and tell me, who's winning practice and all the rest of it.
Sure.
But with Google, I get the option to have a sport tab or block, and it just pulls sports news from wherever, and it just shows it that. And right now in my Google one, I've got a whole bunch of things about soccer or football. I'm not too sure what Americans call it, and tennis and all that sort of thing, which I'm not really interested in.
Right.
And with the Netvibes one, I just typed in the name of the sport that I'm following, and it came up with a whole lot of stuff that was all related to, because it asks you put in a topic that you're interested in, and it's come up with things that are only on those topics. So the individual sort of categories or tabs or blocks, or whatever you want to call them, seem as if you can make them a little bit more on point to what you actually want.
Sure.
But then the problem with that is that you end up in an echo chamber where you're only seeing stuff that you've picked. You're not getting new things recommended to you. So you never really expand your...
Right.
you never really expand your thing.
Daredevil wants to... Nope, not Daredevil. Tansy Dog wants to know why Eggs Benedict... That's right, it's not Crash Benedict, it's Eggs Benedict. Why you have a teddy bear on your bed.
That is my teddy bear that I've had since I was about 4 or 5 years old. And when I moved to New Zealand from South Africa, it got lost. And I found it about a year ago again. So I fixed his eye because his eye had fallen out. So I glued his eye back in, and I washed his shirt thing that he wears, and I won't let him out of my sight ever again. Because it's my teddy. I've had him since I was little. So
okay. Well, so there's that answer. The next one is IG Home, which is a good alternative. And this is what it looks like. It looks a lot like the Google homepage, I really like this bar up here at the top where it has Gmail, calendar, Feedly, bookmarks, maps, images, blah, blah, blah. But it appears that these are fairly modular. Like you can't resize these windows, which I think is important. They all have to be the same size, but I do like that it shows weather. I haven't tried. Oh, I like the scrolling within it on Flickster there, but that might get kind of annoying if I go to scroll down the page and it scrolls down the widget instead. Um, this one's interesting, but it's not one that really caught my fancy. The yeah,
It seems a little bit basic. I mean, it's got everything there, but
sure,
it
yeah,
just seems a little bit, like they've just taken your page and split it up into 6 pages, and you can
yeah,
view these 6. Like it's got Google News, Facebook, whatever. It's not. I mean, I imagine if you customize it, it'll probably work better, but it's not really. Like it's nothing special. It's just a
right,
page that lets you view more than one.
right, exactly.
It's tiled a bunch of pages on your
Sure,
screen.
yeah,
So
yep. So the My Yahoo, I don't know why, but for some reason I don't care to try a Yahoo product. I'm not sure. I think because Yahoo email is so horrible, but I'm just not interested. But I can say that I like this look a lot better than the IG Home. They have the different sections that they're different sizes, but they don't appear to be movable unless maybe I need to sign in to do that. But they do, Daredevil, they do have the import your settings right there. So that's cool. I wonder if I have an existing page. Probably not. I do have a Yahoo email address that I haven't logged into for a while, but yeah. Oh, look, they have horoscopes. I might just have to change my mind. Oh, I'm not showing this stream. Sorry.
I think part of the problem with this one is that you might end up using Bing as well accidentally.
I
And
might
that's not
what?
something I would ever with Yahoo, because Yahoo, I think their search defaults to Bing, or it's backed by Bing,
Oh
the
yeah.
Microsoft thing. So you
Yeah.
might accidentally end up doing Bing searches, which I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yep.
something you'd have to be careful of.
Sure. So then the next alternative is my MSN. Look how great it loads. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I guess my MSN isn't available anymore. That's just good because I wouldn't consider it anyway. All right. The next one is Protopage. It's an RSS reader and start page. There we go. And I do like this one. This is actually, out of the 6 choices from this website, this is the one that I would prefer. I like that things can be moved around, just like iGoogle and some of the other ones. But I also liked add
I
widget.
like how I like how efficiently it uses space as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't usually have a browser maximized. I've got 2 fairly big screens, but I do have it maximized for the show, and I like how it manages to fill up the page with things, as opposed to the other ones we were looking at, where if you have your browser full maximized, it seems to have a lot of white space on it. Whereas this one here, and then I made my browser smaller just to look, and it sort of moved everything around to fit it in nicely. Which is good because if it's your home page, you want it to work well, I guess.
Yeah. So I just added the RSS feed of Jupiter Broadcasting videos and my Mom Vault blog. And I didn't realize that I would want the Mom Vault blog on there until I started looking into iGoogle alternatives. I'm actually not even sure how to add it to iGoogle at this point, but I think it's kind of cool that I could see all my blogs on there and be like, oh yeah, I did just post that, and I don't know, it just kind of keeps it in my mind, I guess.
I'm not sure that iGoogle actually does RSS since they got rid of Google Reader.
Oh yeah, right.
It's sort of just it's just picking things from news.google.com in various places and sort of throwing it up there. But
Right.
like that's the one I noticed with the Netvibes one as well. It's an RSS feeder as well as which with the demise of Google Reader, that could be quite handy as well.
Yeah, and I also like that this has the toolbar across the top, or well, the middle. Well, yeah, I wonder. I guess I could close that. Um, I can type something in the search box, and it's not just a Google search. It's an Amazon, it's a Wikipedia, it's a Maps, it's a YouTube, Twitter, whatever. Um, that's really handy. It's a really good idea, I think. And apparently that's move aroundable. No? Oh, cool. I can go ahead and get rid of the ones that I wouldn't use, like Bing, eBay, Yahoo,
Yahoo.
ESPN. Uh,
I wonder if you can add custom ones.
let's see. Note, if you add too many search buttons, there may not be room on your search bar for all of them. Add search engines from our directory. Wow. So they have a big list of places that you can add them from, but you have to know what category they'd fit into. Because I don't see a search box for this anywhere. But, oops, not sports. Technology.
But the custom search engines are fairly easy to... Yeah, the custom search engines actually let you put in the URL.
Where?
If you go to add a custom search engine,
Yeah.
you can actually enter in the URL.
Is that a widget? Or is it in the... oh, add a custom... There, sorry. Okay.
So you could, for example, if the Jupiter Broadcasting page had a search engine, which you could add that to your list of search engines just by changing the URL, because most search engines have a similar sort of syntax, I guess. So you could change it to, say, jupiterbroadcasting.com/search/whatever.
Right. Nice. So, for all you techies out there, if there's a subject that you're wondering if we covered and it would be in a title, you could do that and hit Jupiter Broadcasting and see, I guess.
And you could also change them for things like DuckDuckGo or Start Page, or if you're all into your privacy and stuff. Although, to be fair, I think if you're really into that sort of stuff, you're not going to be using a Start Page with giving them, logging into a Start Page, giving them all your preferences, because you're probably a bit too tinfoil anyway. But,
right.
It's there. You could add those things the way you wanted. Or
right.
For me, for example, I could add, newzealand.google.com so that I get local news results and so on.
Yeah. So the other thing I liked about this is that you can do the new tabs as well, which actually, if I recall, you can do that with iGoogle too. I just didn't because I want to see everything on the front. So that works. But yeah, I really do like this one. It seems a little more along the lines of what I want. Now, Chris had mentioned, and I don't remember the details, so maybe you can help me figure out how to explain this better to the audience. But a website that asks to access your Gmail versus asking for your Gmail username and password, and the security around that.
It's a bit like, how with Facebook, when you want to play a new game or something, and it says, do you want to give this app permission to do whatever? One of them will just ask for your username and password that you give them, and then you should get a request pop up in a little box that asks, this app is requesting permission to access your calendar or your Gmail, or whatever the story is, which means you can then go back and remove permission from that app.
Right.
And they never, ever see your username and password, which
is probably for the better, right?
It's definitely a good thing. Whereas if you have one of these web pages that you just enter your thing in and it just works, you've just given them your password, and you should probably go and change it, because you don't have a way to stop them from using that in another way. Whereas with the app permission thing, they never actually see your password. They just see a token from Google that says, yes, you can do this.
Okay. So. Yeah. Okay, so the next, it's the fifth alternative to iGoogle, is called Symbaloo. And it's for all of you people that seem to love Windows 8. Just kidding. That's what it looks like to me, is Windows 8. But for some of you, like probably Dreams Void, or Dream in the chat room, this might be more along what you're doing. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull up his website to see what it's looking like right now. Yep. There it is. So Dreamsvoid had this idea a long time ago. Oh, look at him typing it. Yep. So, look at that. Full screen chat room. He typed his own URL wrong. Nice. But anyway, okay, so JB Viewer Z or JB View Z says Windows 8 just stole the look. It's originally from AOL. Yeah, that's true. It does kind of look like that.
This seems a little bit like, it just seems like links. I mean, it clearly has places where you can add news and bits and pieces, but I don't like how if you click on the news tab, you get all these pictures and you've got to hover over them.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I guess if you know your faces, it might be okay, and places.
Yeah.
But
sure.
I mean,
I'm seeing a bunch of stuff here that I may be interested in.
Okay, so somebody just asked in the chat room, what's up with Google changing its policy? That was Cody. And here's that article. Google to change terms to use your identity in ads. There it is.
I've got completely different stuff to you as well. I also, with this one, I don't like how, like, again, in my maximized browser here, there's 2/3 of the page is just black. There's just nothing on it.
Yeah.
It probably works well. It seems like what they've done is they've made a page that when you go to it on your tablet or phone, it's, it formats itself to either one.
Sure.
Well, but I mean, on my tablet and or phone, I have things like Google Now and stuff that do it all for me anyway.
Sure. So
I'm not going to be using something like that. It actually doesn't format very well at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't find it as a good alternative. And yeah, no, I would definitely pass on that one. The final... Oh, yeah?
I was going to say, I guess there might be some people for whom this would be, the right sort of thing they want.
Of course.
It just seems a little bit bland. Like, I mean, Dreamswood made his own web page that does exactly the same thing. And his one's better because it loads faster and it's just instant, so...
Okay, so Chris Last just linked AOL versus Windows 8. And I clicked on the link, and it's opening Chrome. So, just a second. Yeah. There it is. It's a common white screen. Okay, well, we'll go back to this. Are you thinking about modifying your home screen at all now, after discussing it like this?
I am, actually. Because I have...
Look at this picture. This is funny. I wonder if I can... oh, probably not. All right. Oh, yep, I can. Ta-da! Man, AOL was so gaudy. That's the one thing I can say about Windows 8 is that at least it's organized and not so in your face. I mean, it's in your face, but it's not in your face. You know?
I could rant about Windows 8 for a considerable period of time. I'll just bite my tongue on that one. But
okay.
You can definitely see where they got their inspiration from. Well, it seems like that's where they got their inspiration from.
Yeah.
And I've used it on the phone as well, the Windows Phone thing that has a similar sort of layout, and I find it awful myself. Just no on icons, which I don't even use. But
Daredevil says, Angela, Windows 8 is awesome when you use it for 10 minutes. Whoop! Pulled out my headphone. Yeah, no thanks. I'm going to stick with iOS. So the other alternative is ustart.org. And right off the bat, I like the calendar. I'm always looking for a calendar, but it looks like, London, UK seems to be the default for weather on all these start pages, which is really strange. I'm not sure why that is. But it has top news. It has, I kind of like the My Links box. That's something unique that I haven't seen in the other ones. And that is the closest to your homepage that you have, where you can click on those. And, technically it's like Symbaloo, just in a list instead of buttons, right?
Yeah.
Technically.
But I mean, the again, with the Symbaloo one, it takes up your entire page, and that takes up a couple of square inches. The Symbaloo one just seems really wasteful.
True. And I don't know a lot about RSS feeds, but or if this is a good organization of them. I'm thinking it's probably not.
It seems like these it looks like this is just an RSS.
Yeah.
All these different squares, they're just RSS things, which I suspect if you went to the trouble to change all those, enter your own RSS URLs,
Mhm.
you could make it do what you want very well.
Mhm.
But that seems like a hell of a lot of effort compared with, again, the Netvibes one, which I enjoyed, and the Protopage one.
Mhm. Oh, okay. So
Because, I don't need to go to the MotoGP website for the bike racing, find their RSS feed, copy it, and add it back in. I can just do a search and it pops up.
Mhm.
And, I mean, yeah, I guess you've got to make stuff easy for lazy people,
right.
which I am. So, yeah.
So, oops. Here's an example. This ustart.org page does ask for your email address, login, password, and mail server. So, this probably, if you're concerned about your password, or if you use the same password on a bunch of different websites, you probably would not want to do ustart.org.
It does. I just checked the way it works. It does seem to do the authorization thing. So if you actually do go to log in, it does ask. It gives you a login box, but the login box is a Facebook. I mean, I just tried it on my Facebook one. It popped up facebook.com. You log into that, and then it pops up with Ustart will receive the following info. So it does seem like it's doing that properly, but the problem with these sites is that you don't know that they're doing it properly until you've actually logged in and it pops up with the box. It would be extremely easy for them to give you the same login interface and then just go in. So,
Chris Lass. Here I am. I actually copy the link so it doesn't open Chrome, so you guys don't have to wait 10 minutes to see it. He says, this is my start page. And I'm thinking, you guys are going to want to see this. It's probably got tech links and all sorts of cool stuff. I should have known. I should have known. Yeah. So he wasn't too excited about this topic because he said, who uses homepages? And I said, I do. I have a homepage. So, yeah. One of the other things that I really liked about the Google homepage was the fact that you could do themes. They have a whole website dedicated to themes for it. And I'm not sure about these other ones having themes. If you recall, my theme is Panther, I think. Let me find it. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Ta-da. So, I don't know. We'll see. I think I might do a follow-up just like after a mail sack in a future FauxShow to say, this is what I've done with my homepage. So
a lot of them do seem to give you now themes though, but they're not, like by default, they don't have a theme and you just click to change it. You've got to sort of go into the settings and, like, I'm looking through the different ones we've looked at now. And, yeah. But a lot of them you have to sign in to find that out, which is a pain. You've got to make different accounts all the time to figure out if they work.
Right. So Dreams Void wanted me to show CrashBandicoot.com, which forwards to the tweet leaks, which I don't have audio on, but if you guys recall, Jeremy edited this together for the tweet leaks section of Stoked. So anyway, let's see what else do we have here. Oh yeah, I have like another ginormous list. Those were the 6 main ones, but I have another big list of Google alternatives. Here it is. It's at alternativeveto.net, and that's
Alternative 2.
actually, yeah. I tried to read it on the fly, and then I'm like, wait, no, it's not veto. Okay, anyway, alternative2.net. And so we talked about Netvibes. There's startme.com, which we didn't check out. Awesome new tab page, myfave.es, IG Home, which we did. Anyway, there's a ton of different options here that you can check out if you are wanting a new dashboard / homepage. And yeah, so let me just check the doc and see if I forgot anything. Do you have anything else that you want to add?
I think having looked at these, like I never used used iGoogle that much because I just had my own homepage that I set up. But having looked at these, I may actually start using something like this because they're actually a lot handier than you think.
Yeah.
Because way back in 2005 when this started, there were other ones like there was in New Zealand one of our big ISPs is Extra, and they would give you your own extra page, and their one was absolutely terrible. And then there's the Yahoo one, which is just noisy and gives you a headache and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in the last, it's been 8 years since then, and I think it's actually better. Like looking at some of these, I like the Netvibes one myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually better than, in my case, I have Reddit, which has all the right subreddits that I want, but that's still very much, you get your echo chamber effect and you get your Reddit effect where people post garbage for votes and all that sort of thing. Whereas this would actually be a better,
streamlined,
thing to see because it would give me, my email, stuff that's happening there, motorbike news, and all the different things that I follow in one place. Which I suppose that's what they all, that's what iGoogle did, but it was never good enough way back when I stopped using it, and they've all obviously improved a lot. So I might actually give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't realize that they
Yay.
got this good. Yeah.
And the FauxShow is helpful once again. All right. Well,
It's always helpful.
Yeah. You can catch the FauxShow every Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. You can go to our calendar on jupiterbroadcasting.com, and it'll automatically put it into your time zone so you can see what time that is at. You can also follow me on social networks, which are in the show notes at jupiterbroadcasting.com. And I make an announcement typically about an hour before the show starts so that you can get here on time. You can be part of the live chat room. This is the lower third, 100%. And yeah. So, they're asking what's in the glass. Well, chocolate wine. It is delicious. So thank you so much, Nathan, for being able to join me at the last minute. We had a babysitter cancellation again, and it was really helpful that you were able to be my co-host.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for this episode of The FauxShow. We'll see you next week. Don't forget, you can catch recent episodes of The FauxShow on jupiterbroadcasting.com/FauxShow. Also, get them on demand in the iTunes store. Search for FauxShow.